What if I told you there's a platform right now that lets you go from a single idea to a fully produced cinematic video, all inside one tool? No jumping between apps, no complicated workflows, no film degree required. This is Higgsfield. And after spending hours testing every feature, I can honestly say this is the most creator-friendly AI video platform I've ever used. Now before you scroll past thinking this is just another AI tool, hear me out. Because by the end of this video, you're going to see exactly why creators everywhere are switching to this platform. And trust me, once you see what it can actually do, you're going to want to try it yourself. So here's the thing about most AI video tools. They make you work way too hard. You need one tool for images, another for video, another for audio, and then somehow you've got to stitch it all together and hope it doesn't look like a mess. Higgsfield looked at that entire process and said, forget it. They built everything into one unified platform where you can go from text to image to video in a single workflow. And the results? They actually look like real cinema. Let me break down the 4 main tools that make this platform so powerful. First up is Nano Banana Pro, and this is their next generation image engine. Now I've tested a lot of AI image generators, and the one thing that always frustrated me was text. You know what I mean. You try to generate an image with words on it, and the AI just butchers it every single time. Random letters, weird symbols, complete gibberish. Well, Nano Banana Pro actually fixes that problem. The text stays sharp, legible, and stable. Whether it's headlines, logos, packaging, or UI labels, it just works. But that's not even the best part. This model has what they call visual reasoning. It actually understands what you're asking for before it generates. So if you type 3 cups and 2 books, you're actually going to get 3 cups and 2 books. Not 5 cups, not 1 book. It counts correctly and it handles equations and diagrams with logical structure. Plus you can generate in 1K, 2K, or even 4K resolution, and upscale lower res images to crisp 4K quality. For anyone doing product shots, thumbnails, or marketing materials, this is an absolute game changer. Next, we've got Kling 2.6 audio, and this one completely blew my mind. This is a multimodal engine that produces complete scenes with synchronized visuals, ambience, and voice all in one pass. Let me say that again. One pass. You don't need to generate your video. Then go find sound effects, then record voiceover, then spend an hour syncing everything up. Kling 2.6. Audio does all of that simultaneously. The native audio feature builds in voice and ambience automatically. So when you generate a scene of someone walking through a forest, you get the footsteps, the birds, the wind in the trees. When you generate a character speaking, their lips actually sync with the words. The motion fidelity is incredibly stable too. Multi-object scenes stay coherent, camera paths are smooth, and the overall quality is full 1080p. For anyone making talking head content, product demos, or narrative videos, this eliminates hours of post-production work. Then there's WAN 2.5, and this model is built different. It's what they call culture native, which means it handles bold prompts that other platforms might reject. You can work with stylized content, internet native language, and creative concepts that push boundaries. The audio and motion sync on the first render, so lip sync, voiceover, sound effects, and camera movement all align perfectly without any tweaking. What I really love about WAN 2.5 is the flexibility. You can generate videos up to 10 seconds long in multiple aspect ratios. So whether you're making content for TikTok, Instagram Reels, or YouTube Shorts, you've got the right format ready to go. And again, full 1080p quality across the board. Now here's where things get really exciting. They recently launched something called Cinema Studio, and honestly, this is the feature that made me realize Higgsfield is playing a completely different game. Cinema Studio is the first ever end-to-end filmmaking pipeline that takes you from a deliberate first frame to a finished video. Everything happens in one unified flow. Text to image, image to video, all without jumping between tools. But what really sets Cinema Studio apart is how it thinks about filmmaking. It's designed to respect framing, lighting, and cinematic structure. It understands visual grammar. And here's the really cool part. You get access to real cinema cameras and lens profiles that act as style anchors. So your shots stay consistent and intentional, like they were actually planned by a director of photography. The whole system is film-trained. meaning it's built to deliver that cinematic look with proper mood, texture, and tone. If you can describe a scene, you can literally make a film-quality shot. Let me give you a real example of how this works in practice. Say you want to create a dramatic scene of a detective walking through a rain-soaked city at night. In Cinema Studio, you describe that scene, choose your camera and lens profile, and the platform handles composition, lighting, and atmosphere. The result looks like it belongs in an actual movie, not like something an AI spit out. For creators, filmmakers, and marketers, this is massive. You're not just generating random clips anymore. You're actually directing. You're making intentional creative choices that show up in the final product. And you're doing it all from your browser without needing expensive equipment or a production team. Now let's talk about who this platform is actually for. If you're a content creator making videos for YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram, Higgsfield gives you professional quality output without the professional price tag. If you're a marketer or brand owner, you can pump out product videos and ads at a fraction of the traditional cost. If you're a filmmaker or visual artist, Cinema Studio gives you a legitimate creative tool that respects the craft. And if you're just someone who loves experimenting with AI, this platform has enough depth to keep you busy for months. The workflow is incredibly intuitive too. You pick your model based on what you need, craft your concept, and the platform takes care of the technical heavy lifting. No steep learning curve, no confusing interfaces. Just describe what you want and watch it come to life. It understands visual grammar. And here's the really cool part. You get access to real cinema cameras and lens profiles that act as style anchors. So your shots stay consistent and intentional, like they were actually planned by a director of photography. Now I do want to keep it real with you. No platform is perfect. Some users have complained about aggressive content filters. And the premium models like Sora 2 can eat through your credits pretty quickly. But for most creators making social media content, product ads, or short-form videos, those limitations rarely come into play. If you're creating content in 2026 and you're not using a multi-model platform like Higgsfield, you're working harder than you need to. The ability to switch between Sora 2, Veo 3, Kling, and WAN depending on what your project needs. I've tested a lot of AI video tools over the past year, and I can honestly say Higgsfield stands out because it was built with creators in mind from day one. It's not trying to be everything to everyone. It's trying to make cinematic video creation accessible to anyone with an idea. And from what I've seen, it absolutely delivers on that promise. I'll drop links in the description so you can check out Higgsfield and start creating for yourself. If this breakdown helped you understand what the platform can do, make sure you hit subscribe because I'm always covering the latest AI tools that can level up your content. See you in the next one.